Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George, or all George. So the Cardano Summit is finally here. Big news announced. Big news, and there's still some rumors that has not been announced. Will it? Well, let's take a look. Let's discuss the latest announcements from the Cardano Summit and discuss whether or not Cardano is worth getting in at this time. So thanks for tuning in. As always, smash up the like, subscribe to the channel. 2 streams almost every day, 11:30 and 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Make sure you hit that notification bell and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and check out all the latest news, articles, and guides at CryptosRUs.com. Welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome. How are you? Did you guys miss me? I didn't have a stream last night, but I did put out a very educational video about how to build a portfolio. In fact, it was one that I talked about earlier this year, but it's still very relevant. So hopefully some of you guys enjoyed it, especially if you didn't watch the previous video. All right, with that said, let's take a look. Right now, you can see Cardano is having a pretty good day. Overall, Bitcoin's kind of flat. Bitcoin is still about 42.6. Non-movement right now. Is it getting ready to move? Right? I do think so. There's nothing holding Bitcoin back. Nothing holding Bitcoin back, but today you have someone like Cardano that's doing very well. Kind of expected. I told you guys, you know, there a lot of times before these major announcements or summits, you have buy the rumor, meaning it'll pump up before the actual summit or announcement, and then sell the news when something's released. But Cardano didn't pump before the Cardano Summit, right? So it wasn't buy the rumor. It was more like nothing the rumor, sell the rumor. And now we're buying the news, which is very different than before. So some things came out of Cardano, and I think there's still a lot more to come out because I believe the summit is still ongoing. But yeah, so Cardano Summit 2021, you could join live. You have to register. I did not register, so I can't view it right now. But couple things. Number one is they are partnering up with a giant esports rival called Rival. And this is pretty big because they are basically going to develop agnostic NFT marketplaces, fan rewards, and more for Rival and their partners. The partnership will see Cardano facilitate the ability to create and distribute NFTs, the redemption of NFTs for physical goods. We haven't really seen that anywhere else besides like one other project. But right now, there is no talk about redemption of things for physical goods with NFTs. So that's going to be new. And marketplace-based royalties within the Rival platform, whose clients include the Seattle Seahawks, Detroit Pistons, and a few others, right? So seems like Cardano's getting serious about NFTs. We know right now NFTs is driving these other chains up in a big way. NFTs drove Solana up, drove Avalanche up, drove Tezos up, right? We haven't really heard about Cardano being driven up by NFTs. They do have their own NFT marketplace, CNFT. But this could be huge. We know sports is huge. Now we're going to have different kind of NFT marketplaces, different fan rewards, the ability to redeem things, and you already have some major sports teams already part of this. And we know this is going to grow. So they seem like they could be like, I don't know, going after Chili's maybe. But yeah, this was the very first big announcement, right? I think this could be huge. Obviously, Cardano, as it's getting ready to be completed, it's going to need dApps. It's going to need a lot of dApps. And this is a very good start. So that's number one. What's number two? Just as big, if not bigger, Cardano announces partnership with Dish Network. Yes, Dish Network. That's out of left field. So what does this mean? They are going to bring Cardano partners with Dish Network and Boost Mobile to supply 8 million digital identities on phones. Interesting. And what's more interesting is Dish Network is rumored to be a possible acquisition of Amazon. We know Amazon tried to get in phones and failed, but they're in everything else besides phones. So it looks like Amazon may be getting ready to get back into phones. And if they do want to do that, they want to just basically buy up something like Boost Mobile. And if Cardano is partnered with Boost Mobile, that means Cardano will be partnering up with Amazon. That's pretty big. That's pretty big. I don't know the exact implications of providing DIDs, but there's a lot of future dApps that can be built on top of it, right? And who knows? You could see, one of the native Cardano wallets being bundled in, or you could see like ADA Pay being bundled in, or even ADA Pay being used, right, within the Boost Mobile's marketplace. I mean, the possibility is endless. Possibly endless. So these are two big things that came out, right? And the conference is still ongoing. Another project that is pumping up and has been pumping up for a while now, that's also related to Cardano, is Coti. And you guys have watched me talk about Coti. I have always said Coti is a good project. So you could see here, two big announcements will be made at Cardano Summit. I'm 99% sure that Charles will present a new product made with Coti Tech. Now, what could that be? So it's highly rumored that it will be something to do with stablecoins. Coti already powers ADA Pay. And I saw this. This was announced 2 days ago. Coti with Cardano. And Cardano allows Coti and ADA Pay to accept stablecoins so that consumers can use stablecoins to pay for things using ADA Pay. Now, this is using other people's stablecoins. What about their own? It's rumored that Cardano and Coti will develop their own native stablecoin to be used within the Cardano ecosystem. That is the big rumor going on right now, and that may be announced in Cardano Summit too. Some kind of algorithmic stablecoin, not something that's equal to Tether or USDT. It's something that's going to be based on algorithm, and you can, of course, once you have that, you can have a whole slew of DeFi stuff that's going to be using it. Very much like Terra's ecosystem. Terra USD is also algorithmic stablecoin, and of course it's used with Mirror and Anchor and other things, right? So that could be coming. If Coti powers or creates this new stablecoin for Cardano to be used in all the future DeFi projects that's coming out, that could be very, very big, and that is still pending right now. So we'll see. We'll see if that gets announced. So, I mean, so far it hasn't been disappointing. I know the last Cardano big kind of summit announcement was with Africa, right? Some people felt it was very underwhelming. Some thought it was a very good start to have millions of Ethiopians now have a DID and get a digital identity and be on the blockchain. But this one so far has not been disappointing. Big NFT play by Cardano, big network mobile play by Cardano, and pretty soon maybe a big stablecoin play by Cardano. So things are looking definitely pretty good for Cardano. And you know what, right now it's about 242, up 7%. Not the biggest gain, not the biggest pump, and they're still off about 21% from their previous high. But can they get back up there? Yeah, sure, they definitely could. All right, so that's the latest with Cardano. What else is there? Well, I mentioned about Bitcoin being a little stagnant, but not to worry. You know, Bitcoin will do its thing, right? I decided to look at Bitcoin reserves on exchanges. Yeah, it's still low. It's still low. It's not gone anywhere. In fact, it's the lowest it's been for over a year. That's the blue line right here, right? You can see that it is still very low. So it's not like anything happened. No huge deposits. No, it is still being taken out. And then also Ethereum's. Even though Ethereum has been stagnant, Ethereum's reserves keeps dropping as well. So things are looking pretty good. Things are holding We just have to be patient. There's going to be a lot of stuff coming up in Q4. Q4, October, November, December. I've been saying 3 months that you do not want to miss out on. Okay, so those are pretty good. I also saw this headline: Axie Infinity sold $2 billion worth of Axies, right? What does that mean? That means they have $2 billion worth of ETH. That's what it means. That's a lot of ETH. And what's good about it is it's out of circulation, right? I mentioned about Ethereum being very deflationary these days, and people are like, no, it's not deflationary. Well, there's a ton of coin burning, but there's also a lot of projects like this that's holding on. NFTs that's holding on to a lot of ETH. There's a lot that's staked within the Beacon chain, and there's a lot of staked in other DeFi projects. So things are still looking pretty darn good. This is all adding up. This is where you have to pay attention, right? You put two and two together. If supply keeps decreasing and demand keeps increasing, but the price does not increase, what does that mean? What's coming up? That means price is lagging and prices go catch up, right? So you just got to put two and two together, and then it makes a whole lot of sense. Evan, I don't know what Paribus PBX NFT cross-chain is. Obviously, you keep asking about it. I don't know what it is, man. So, but I appreciate the super chats. No need to shill something that hard. Saber, I don't know what Saber is either. All right, moving on. What else is good? Well, Wall Street Bets. I don't know if this is good or bad. I think it's going to bring a lot of FOMO, but Wall Street Bets decided finally to cave into crypto, and they have started a new subreddit that is dedicated to cryptocurrency. We know what Wall Street Bets did with AMC GME. Then they did it with Doge, and then the community members or the founders didn't like it, shut down crypto chat. Right now, they're coming back in. So I don't know. They're kind of wishy-washy. But I will say this: when FOMO hits, and it's going to hit in Q4, when that happens, the Robinhoods of the world, I told you guys, mostly the Wall Street Bets guys, right? They're going to be jumping in hard. So I guess it's better to have the subreddit than not to have the subreddit. So I don't know. Okay, so I want to mention that. And then two other things. One is OpenSea has a big rival now, Andre Crowley, I think. He's a big DeFi guy. He started Yearn Finance. He's also very part of Fantom's DeFi ecosystem and very part of Sushi's ecosystem, SushiSwap. So he just launched a brand new NFT marketplace called Arteon. Okay, and it's very, very, very much like OpenSea, except it costs a lot less. You can see there's Bored Ape Yacht Club on here already, but it costs a lot less to mint an NFT because you're using Fantom to NFT, and it costs a whole lot less to buy and send too, right? So that's the whole point it is. But he wants to make this into the huge OpenSea competitor that's on top of Fantom, and he wants to make it cross-chain so that you can also bring over NFTs from other chains as well very easily. So what's the big point to this? This could be big for Fantom. Just look at what OpenSea has done for Ethereum in terms of how much money is being circulated around, buying NFTs, selling NFTs, right? And if that comes to Fantom, which is a project I support too, it could be very, very big. Very, very big. So watch out for that. And lastly, I saw this clip. So it looks like Raoul Pal, who is a former Goldman Sachs guy, he had an interview with Michael Saylor. And I don't know where the original video is. I think it's on Raoul Pal's site, Real Vision, but I think you have to pay for that, so I haven't found it. But I did see this, and the two went at it. At least this clip. Raoul Pal was trying to argue that not every crypto is a security, and it's defined wrong. But Michael's like, no, they're not defined wrong. You're wrong. Basically, Michael is saying, hey, if you have a bunch of guys that creates a token and gives 50% of the circulating supply to themselves, pays influencers to pump up the coin, right? That's considered security. You can't just call it a decentralized project and say it's not a security, because that's exactly what you're doing. You're creating something in the hopes of it going up, right? If you create something that's supposed to be a utility and you market it as a utility, then it's fine. But most projects out there, they don't do that. They want things to go up so there are security. And if that's the case, you got to abide by security laws and comply with the SEC regulations, right? So the two went at it. But I'm going to try to watch this whole thing. In fact, you know what? I'm going to retweet this right now so that if you guys are following me on my Twitter, you can watch it. But it's interesting. It's interesting. Most people, when they talk to Michael Saylor, they kind of just, they just kind of go with the flow, right? You don't really hear many people argue with him. But in this case, I actually think Michael's right. But that does not mean I think that SEC should just go after every project. No. But there are some projects definitely seems like they need to be gone after. So there you go. All right. Seb says Coti seems to be bumping. You just missed it. Rewind like 10 minutes. I just cover why. It's a pretty big deal if it's true. All right. With that said, that's it. Few new members. Appreciate it. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the CRU Club. Lastly, I have a sponsor for today. I think it's one that you guys will enjoy. It's called GPool. GPool, where retail investors become seed investors. Basically, it's a new version of a launchpad. Launchpads are very hot these days, right? When you have a new project that's coming out that's having IDO, launchpads is where it's at, right? And GPool wants to be different because they want you to be involved even earlier, right? You hear of guys that get into seed investments. You get into pre-rounds before the IDO even happens. That's what GPool is trying to do. Trying to make it so that everyone can actually get in early enough so that you can make some money off of these projects once they come out, right? So they already had two prior to their own. They had Depot, and right now they have Transient. And Transient is ongoing right now. But basically, a better version of a launchpad. Early engagement with projects, improved token allocations for our investors. There's going to be a rewards scheme with multi-token staking pool. No KYC. No pump and dump. Carefully constructed and secure launches. Fully voting rights, and no vesting pools or lock-ins, because that's one of the things. If you are a seed investor, usually there's a vesting period, a lock-in period, where you cannot do anything with that. But if you get in with the Genesis pool, that's not a problem. Also, what's interesting, they have this big partnership with Glitch. In fact, I have covered Glitch before. They're a blockchain that's focused on DeFi and DeFi scaling. But it looks like Glitch actually had a grant recipient. I mean, a grant, and the recipient is Genesis Pool. So they are going to be working neck and neck, side by side, very closely. So that's pretty good that they do have this funding and the support from another blockchain that is already operational, right? And the latest one, Transient, I just pulled it up right now. Allocation is very small, only $500 to $1,000, right? So there you go. That's pretty much it for GPool. It's just a new launchpad that is trying to be more fair to investors. So if you want to be, if you want to check them out, you want to be an investor, a seed investor, then check out GPool. Their URL is in the description of this video. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. Now let's do some Q&A. All right, let me think. Thoughts on Bumper? I have no idea, Jeff, what Bumper is. It doesn't even show up in Live Coin Watch, so I can't help you. Frank, thank you for that. There's a lot of Cardano excitement today. I'm glad to see it because Cardano has been pretty stagnant over the last few weeks, right? You could see the last 30 days down 5%, which isn't actually all that bad compared to Bitcoin or Ethereum or Binance Coin or XRP. But it certainly isn't that good when you compare it to, say, Solana or Polkadot or Avalanche or Terra, you know. But yeah, I'm waiting for Cardano to get its momentum back again. Patrick Johnson asks, hey George, my friend made over $1 million on Doge, is telling me to get into kill Doge on BSC. I've seen those tokens go to the moon. I feel like I'm missing out on easy gains. No, just because someone was lucky on something does not mean that they're all knowing, okay? And right now, I'll be honest, anything, including meme coins on BSC, do not pump. BSC right now is not doing well. It's not doing well. They're all on Ethereum or one of the other chains out there. That's number one. Number two is no meme coins are good, worth holding on to, because there's so many. There's so many that's coming out every single day, and more gets diluted, which is why Doge is so weak, which is why Shiba is so weak, because there's a million copycats, right? So I highly don't advise anyone to get into a meme token, because I advise people to invest for a long haul, to invest, actually invest, not to gamble. You could also make millions by buying lottery tickets, right? The payout is even better. So if you want to take a risk and just gamble, then sure. But if you're investing, don't do it. And people don't get the economics of these meme tokens. They see like it's so many decimal points, it has to go up, right? That's not the case. Brain trust? Well, yeah, no, because look at this. It's a dead project, Christopher. I don't even know why you're asking that. Ryan asks, 2200, how will you spread your buys between those four? I don't know. Just spread it out. Divide it 5 ways. Divide it out 5 ways. I mean, I think all those projects are fantastic. So I think you just do divide it out 5 ways. Fix not having enough money to buy the dips by going to employer to value more. Now make 80% more money, and a good chunk of it goes into these dips. DCA. Well, congratulations. Since you didn't put a name, I can't say what your name is, but it sounds like you made the right move. You think ETH has a lot of room to move with all the ETH killers? Yes. Because with all the ETH killers, it's still the biggest by far. And the projects, like the NFT projects and all this stuff, still the biggest and most widely used within the Ethereum ecosystem. But that does not mean they will stay up forever. But they still have to continue to execute and fix congestion and fix the gas fees. But, they have time. They have time. Can you give your thoughts on buying on margin? Is it worth it? No, it's never worth it. It's never worth to buy anything on margin or leverage, because that means you're risking. You're risking it, and you should not risk it. Just look at all the people that has been liquidated over the last few weeks. Margin, you could get liquidated too, right? If the underlying token goes down by 30 or 50%, your margin called. And if you can't pay it, you get liquidated too. So I don't recommend it. Not one bit. Rob, if I had to choose, I would still choose Solana at this point. Do you think China Fund has been holding back VET for the past few months? Yeah, I think that has something to do with it. I think so. But, there's always going to be China Fund. People will get over it. Right? And then people realize that is one of the fantastic projects. Do you think Tezos is underrated? I don't know if it's underrated, but I do think that there's more price gains to be had because it's really driven by NFTs right now. So I've known Tezos for a long time, never got into it. I didn't like their previous history. There was like a big thing with their foundation and stuff. But they're past that now. But, you know, I've never really gotten into them. And then recently I started digging and I realized they're being driven up simply by NFTs right now. So I do think they could go up much more. I did not create my I Am George number 3 yet. Seems like there's an appetite for more George NFTs. So I will come out with them. But in the meantime, you guys could check out my merchandise store. There's some good stuff in my merchandise store. Anyways, and you should check out my CryptosRUs.com page. So there's a ton of stuff here, guys. I tell you guys this. Newsletters, you know, twice weekly. You can sign up here. But you can also check out the new off the blockchain store. There's a lot. Oh, look, Avalanche was just added. Just hodl it. We are all George. It's time for a change, right? For men and women. And hey, even if you're into meme coins, you like Shiba, you know, go ahead and buy a Shiba coin, Shiba shirt. You like Doge, go buy a Doge, right? It got everything for everyone. So you guys check it out. It's pretty cool. Still waiting for Sunday Swap to be done. I like Avalanche quite a bit. I think, again, I got into Avalanche late, but better late than never. I think they're going to continue doing well. Hold 10 ETH or spread on. I think spread on. I think you got to be diversified, especially with some of the, you know, some of the other network protocols. You got to have some ETH. But if you're not diversified in the other guys like Cardano and Solana and Avalanche and Terra, Algo, Cosmos, Polygon, like these guys, VET, you gotta have some of them. I'm not big on scale. This is just a layer 2. I don't see anything big with it. Why do you hate Tron? Because I don't like Justin. I don't trust him. He's been very, very iffy in the past. If you've been around 2017, 2018, you'll know what I'm talking about. But it's not someone that I really trust as a leader. What do you think about ADAX? Well, if it could get done and it's great, then great. There's a lot of rumors about ADAX about how they may be iffy. I don't know why. People are talking about it. I don't know if that's true. But in terms of DEXs, I know of Sunday Swap, AdaDex, and Ergo. And Ergo seems to be doing very well right now too. But Sunday is just airdrop, so you can't even buy it. And then ADEX, I think people are trying to get into it because it's one of the, you know, DEXs that you can buy into, but it's not done yet. I like to see these DEXs done and running, right? And then we'll see. Not big into deeper network. It's more like, you know, hiding, making transactions private. Harmony Dev tweeted pics about successfully bridging BTC to 1 using a test net. Pretty big. All right, guys, I'll let you go. Overall, let's see what else Cardano Summit brings. They announced some big things already. Okay, big NFT collaboration with esports giant Rival. That's pretty big. Big announcement with Dish Network. Also, possibly the announcement of its own stablecoin with the Coti team. So there's some big stuff swirling around already, right? We'll see if there's more that's coming. If so, watch out. This could be a turning point for Cardano to start pumping again. So let's wait and see. But in the meantime, for everything else, kind of steady, cool and steady and calm, that's okay. When the market's ready, Bitcoin and everything else is going to be coming back up. So stay strong and be patient. All right, guys, that is it. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys tonight. All right, take care.